Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Hello YouTube, welcome back to another Stanley Legacy video. Today I have Davon Rich here. He's MMA 2 in the Navy. Today we're going to be talking about how his Navy experience has been compared to my Navy experience, and then we'll just let him answer a couple questions. So without further ado, Rich, would you like to tell us about your Navy experience so far?
Bless. Okay, so Navy experience. First off, I want to start. I am from the Garden State, New Jersey. Bless. Go Rutgers. You know what I'm saying? Giants fans out there, you know, hit that subscribe button, please. All right, so from New Jersey, went to college, did the whole thing. I was like, oh snap, what am I gonna do with my life? And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just join the military. I didn't want to be in a ditch somewhere, in a hole in the desert, so I was like, I guess I can go on water because I don't like heights and I don't like holes. And I was like, oh, let's just go to the ocean. Like, that's a better idea. So I joined the Navy, right? It gave me two options. One was to go undesignated. The other one is submarines. Here I am on submarines. And that's how it all began. My Navy experience so far, it's been interesting. It's a roller coaster, man, ups and downs. But the one advice I can give you is to always focus on your reason why you're doing it, your why. Like, that's going to keep you motivated. That's going to keep your head up to get through the adversity and the tough times. And understand, like, whether this is long-term or short-term, just always have like an exit strategy, because you never know. Life changes. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So my experience so far has been a blessing in disguise. You know, I'm thankful for it, but at the same time, it's an experience. Life changes, things happen, priorities change, and so therefore I have to adapt to those things. And where I'm at right now, I could just say I appreciate it all. But at the end of the day, your boy has to depart. You know how it goes. Bless.
All right, Rich. So what would you say, like, you went on deployment with the USS Missouri, the Mighty Mo. How would you say that was? Did you enjoy the deployment? Like, what was your... Go ahead and just tell us what your best experience was and the worst experience of deployment, so our viewers can figure out how they would handle a deployment.
All right, so best experience from the deployment, you'll hear this a lot. The camaraderie, man, like the camaraderie and the things that you go through, whether it's good or bad, you won't really find that in many places, man. It's truly a blessing. Honestly, you'll find good experiences when you've experienced it already, because when you're going through it, it's kind of hard to see like a lot of the positives. It's like anything else in life. It's like going through high school all over again. It's like, oh snap, I can't wait to graduate. And when you look back, you're like, damn man, I wish I can go back and do these other things. It's the same concept. So while I was doing it, I was out there on deployment. We're in a hall. No windows, just you and a whole bunch of other guys standing your watch, cleaning, working on equipment, probably working out or probably sleeping in the rack. And the communications between you and your family, it doesn't occur that often. So you can only imagine. You haven't seen the sun for a few months. You're in the middle of the ocean somewhere, and you're trying to make it back home safe. So the stress is high, but at the same time, the bond brings you and the fellas together. So overall, it's a blessing. Can't give you too much detail because a lot of stuff is, you know, secret, top secret. But overall, it's a blessing looking back on it, man.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the only downsides of being on a submarine is whenever we do missions, we can't really give details out. So it's really unfortunate for like us as submariners to whenever somebody comes and asks us like what we do, because in all reality we can't give out that information because it's vital national security secrets. Yeah. So we'll never tell you what we do, but we'll just tell you how the experience is. So me personally, I've never been on deployment. I've just done the PCU life, which is a pre-com unit. Rich is also stationed on the same vessel I am. He just was TAD orders to the Mighty Mo when you went underway. So that all TAD is temporary assigned duty. So that's how you had the experience of doing a deployment. What was your favorite thing about deployment?
Favorite thing about deployment,
like, did you do any ceremonies or any of that thing?
okay, so like I went on a deployment. I received my warfare device, my fish as we call it in the Submarine Force. Received that saying like they trust me and certified me to save their lives on the submarine or operate the submarine safely, or not operate the submarine safely, but to do my job in the event something were to happen, like a casualty or something. They trust me with that power. The process takes a long time. It depends on your work ethic. It's a lot of calls, and you don't really have much time to do them because you're either standing watch or trying to stand watch, or you're tasked with menial tasks or things that may seem degrading. I can say that, but other than that, yeah, that was a big accomplishment. And then after once you push through adversity, you start getting things done. You'll get more calls done, and then people will have more respect for you eventually over time. And once you establish yourself as a good worker, your life will eventually become, I can't say easier, but you'll become more effective or more
Useful.
useful.
That'd be that's
Blessed.
the right word.
Yep.
All right, so like you was talking about with the dolphins, the fish, that's just our warfare device. And like you said, once you get those fish, you become more useful. So whenever you don't have your fish, they don't give you tasks. But whenever they do have your fish, all of a sudden your workload becomes this big. So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about the difference between the subforce versus the surface fleet. So the submarine force, right? We're a very close-knit group of personnel. So like when it comes to what would you say, officers and things of that nature?
Yeah, it's completely different. I don't know much about the surface fleet, but speaking with a few different dudes, like going down to different places and speaking with them, it's a night and day difference. Like with us, we can converse with the officers, you know, walk in the wardroom, sit down, have conversations. They come in our space, the same old difference. You speak with your chiefs, like just regular people. It's because like we're in a high stress environment, and our lives are on the line, and that camaraderie is built because you expect that same person to save your life. So that I'm superior, you're inferior thing kind of like dissipates, because it's like I need this person to do his job to bring me back home to my family and children and whatnot.
Do you have any other advice, Rich, for newcoming sailors? Like, what would you say would be your top advice for transitioning from boot camp to A school, or from A school to the fleet? What would you say your biggest advice would be?
Biggest advice. Well, if you're doing submarines, because I can't speak about the service fleet or where they go, what they do, but I can say for submarines, once you leave boot camp and you get to your sub school and you stand your watches and you deal with a lot of things that you might not want to deal with, it's easy in comparison to when you get to the boat. Like, it's a night and day difference. Like, you'll stand like 2-hour watches, and watches is you standing guard watching a door or secured area or something like that, writing in logs who's coming in, badges, names, and things of that nature. It's very easy in comparison to when you get to the boat. I'm gonna just say, when you go through it, just know that it's easier, and your instructors, they will tell you and will remind you, trust me, it is. A-ganger, bro. You'll find out what that is.
Yeah, so it's a significant night and day difference between the fleet and your school. So, school, they don't tell you about duty days. Boot camp, they don't tell you about duty days, right? You don't find out that you stand duty until you go to whatever ship or whatever boat for submarines, until you go to your command, right? For our command, we went 3-section for a long time, so that means every 3 days you're staying in duty, which is 24 hours on the ship. right? So in that time frame, you're either standing your topside watch or you're standing below decks, right? But if you're just starting out, you all probably only going to stay in topside until you get your fish. So a lot of people, when they go through and watch YouTube videos, they don't talk about duty days. So just know, no matter where you go, via surface side or submarines, you have duty days. Granted, surface side, they have like 36 sections, so like that's cool. Where I'm standing duty every 3 days, but hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Oh man, that's hysterical. Yeah, man. So duty section every 3 days, man, is I'm not gonna lie, man, it's just flat out like terrible. That's what it is. It's not just the fact that you're standing duty, because you're going to work every single day during the week, from like Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
07:15 to 1600 is when the work day ends, but most times it surpasses that work day when it ends. So you don't know what time you're getting off. On top of standing duty every 3 days, this carries into the weekend and back to the regular week. So if I got duty Monday, I got duty Wednesday,
yeah.
And then I got duty Saturday, like that rotation, and then it keeps going non-stop. So you're on the boat for 24 hours. So if I have duty like Monday, I'm on the boat for 24 hours. I wake up on a Tuesday and I go straight into a regular work day. And then I go home.
Yep.
That's how the submarine force works.
So, and then when you're standing your watches underway, so we had 6 hours, sixes is what they're called. So 6 hours on watch, 6 hours off watch, and then 6 hours in the rack. So we did that for a little while, and then we finally transitioned to eights, which, personal opinion, eights are significantly better than sixes. Because sixes, man, whew.
You ain't getting no sleep, bro. You ain't getting no sleep at all. I can tell you, and the stress kicks up when you get lack of sleep too, man. You know, there's studies and stuff out there for that. But yeah.
Submarines, they're cool. Just know it takes a very specific type of mindset to make it on a boat. And, you know, a lot of times we'll have people come and then people end up tapping and going surface side. That happens quite often. So just know, if you are a submariner, right, you really just got to grind and get through your whole contract, right? Because you're going to have fun times and you're going to have awful times. One of the fun times is our boat in particular, like our blower blew up. I know y'all have no idea what that is, but it blew up and I was staying until 10 o'clock at night fixing it, right? I love turning wrenches. That's, you know, just the mechanic in us, right? Which is fun. But then you have other times where it's 7 degrees topside and you're standing watch and you're like, you know.
Yeah.
So there's always pros and cons. You just got to look for the pros and the cons. And really just have fun with it, right? Like Rich was saying earlier, it's an experience. So you enjoy your experience and you try to make the best out of your experience, because no matter what, no matter where you go in life, you're going to have always the bad portions of things and you're going to have the great portion of things. So
definitely. Is there like anything that, like, if you put yourself in issues, is there anything you wish someone would have told you when you were first coming in? You have like anything? Like, say if you're just joining in like right now, like, and then your experience that you have right now, what would you tell your younger self? Like, what's a
good question.
Like something valuable where you'd be like, okay, you know.
I tell myself to watch my mouth. My mouth gets me in trouble a lot at work, right? That's probably like the biggest thing, right? So we talked about, you know, there's like a level of like closeness and stuff, but also we still have the formality. So like, yeah, I can't tell my chief to go, you know, F off, you know, daily, you know. So that's probably like attitudes that play a big role in like the military. What about you? What would you say would you wish you would have known coming in?
I wish I would have known about the duty thing that we spoke about, because that was a big one. That was like a culture shock. Also, if I can go back to my younger self, analyze your contracts. Don't sign anything that you don't understand, because you don't want to put yourself in a predicament where you staying in longer than you want to stay in. Is my personal recommendation. So I advise you, if you're about to go in and sign paperwork, speak with somebody you know first, someone who has some sort of experience, because the way it is I need you to fulfill this spot that no one else wants to do for a long period of time. And then when you actually get there, you really don't have no escape route. You know what I mean? So just go in with the idea of what you want to do, and don't take nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so don't take no for an answer. Go after what it is you want to do, whether you want to be a mechanic, electrician, whatever. They're going to try to give you jobs and stuff of that nature that you may not like, or you may not want to do, and then depending on your circumstances, you may be influenced to go accept something that you don't want to do for a long period of time. My situation, I thought I had a 5-year contract. Come to find out I had 6. And then, you know, we go back to that 3-section duty, and then being on a submarine and doing deployments. And then as you get older, your priorities start to change. You know what I mean? Things happen. So you have to weigh out the pros and cons. Like, you go in at a young age, but your life will change over a span of 3, 4, 5 years. So you have to take that into account as well. So read your contract information. Make sure it's all written in your contract. If they're giving you guarantees, make sure it's written, because you're not gonna get it. Trust me, not gonna get it. Yeah, and like I said before, focus on your why you're doing it, and understand if it's a stepping stone or not, and stick to that, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's also, if you know that you're joining the military to get the GI Bill and planning on getting out, you need to have that mentality the entire time. So what I mean by that is, when it comes to finances, a lot of guys, they come into the military and they're like, oh, I'm going to get out, and then they never plan financially, right? If you're not planning financially while you're in, knowing that you want to get out, at the end of the contract, right, after 5 years for us, well, 6 for Rich, right, if you don't have that money saved or that plan getting out, you're probably most likely going to re-enlist. A lot of the time, what happens is, and you can ask anybody that's been in for a long period of time, they always say that they wish they had a plan. And so that's a big one. If you want to get out and you're just getting the GI Bill or any of that, make sure you have a plan and stick to it. Do anything you can to save your money. You know, it's going to be hard. You're going to be faced with challenges. All your boys are going to want to go out and drink, or ladies, you know. Y'all are going to want to go out and party. You just got to remember your why, what you're doing it for. That's very important. And also, and to touch on what Rich was saying about the contracts, read your contract. Read it. That is huge. A contract is a contract. Once you sign the contract, you are stuck with that contract. So make sure you read your contract. You get everything that was promised to you in your contract, or don't sign your contract. Another thing is, if you go to MEPS in the beginning of the month, there's more jobs. If you go to the MEPS at the end of the month, there's less jobs. So just know that. Any more closing thoughts, Rich? Anything else you want to, before we close out the video?
Yeah, like you said with the finances, man, this is a big thing, because like a lot of guys are kind of forced to stay in due to finances. Like, as they stay in longer, certain things happen. They have kids, their car blew up, or their house imploded, and things of that nature. A family member got sick, so things are gonna happen. Life is gonna continue to go on, but you need to save money, at least like 30% recommendation. I'm not no financial specialist or a CPA. I'm not qualified these things. You go consult them. But my recommendation personally, save at least 30% of your check, and then the rest of it, do wherever you want. So at the end of the day, when things do fall apart or things happen, you have an escape route. You know, anything that you do in your life, any endeavor that you take on, make sure you have an escape plan. That's all I gotta say about that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm glad to have Rich on. This is MMA2 Rich. I'm glad to have him on the video to give a little more insight. At the end of this video, I'm going to put some of his music. If y'all want to check out his music, go ahead. We're going to put it at the end of the video so y'all can listen to it. But as always, thank y'all for watching, and have a great day. This has been the Stanley Legacy.
I'ma let it run through like a couple times. Yeah. Yeah, nigga. That bitch up a little bit. Yeah.
Facts, no printer, man. Yeah, though. Hey.
I came from the trenches, was never good. Had to put overtime on that hardwood.
One false move, you can lose your life.
On the block all night like street lights. Kiss me in the Buick, running through the back streets. Reaper on me just in case they try to pop at me. Oil in my cut, don't give a fuck. Nigga run up, the chopper gun, yeah.
I learned that Hennessy and enemies provide the remedy, the special synergy. I don't know what's gotten into me, but tonight I let the sparks fly like the 4th of July. The hole in your chest like the same width for the sky. Got me feeling like Pac, thug life to the heart stop. I know you insecure like a mall cop, but all shots are contested. Snitches not respected. We all having your nose leaking, so you no longer congested. And let me break it down for you, simple and plain. There's a few rules to follow whenever you playing this game, and always stay undetected. Never give him your name. Watch who you rolling with when you ride through your lane, and when you feeling it strange, don't act foolish or fall in love with Cupid. Hit you with something that's longer than the pool stick. Like
I came from the trenches, was never good. Had to put overtime on that hardwood.
One false move, you can lose your life.
On the block all night like street lights. Kiss me in the Buick, running through the back streets. Reaper on me just in case they try to pop at me. Oil in my cut, don't give a fuck. Nigga run up, the chopper gun, yeah.
It's about to be a
homicide, RIP to the streets. On a full-time grind, nigga, I ain't slept in weeks. War wounds on my cheeks, blood still up on my teeth. Think I was Iraqi, that way I stayed with the heat. Niggas playing tough, but nothing about me sweet. Tunnel vision flow, dot my eyes and cross my teeth. Wear my fingers to the bone, all night till the sunrise. Everybody tryna keep me low while I'm tryna rise. Catch me in the Beamer, all black with the blue eyes. That's the eagle on my leg, don't test me unless you wanna die. Don't try me tryna ask me my shoe size. I might overreact and let a few fly. Perception reality, and nigga, you sweet as a cookie. Got money, cars, and a gun, but you still a pussy. Sometimes you gotta go wrong just to live right. Sometimes you hit that left blinker just to turn right, yeah. Facts, no printer, bitch.